My name's SCAPE Martinez, an artist from the area. Been writing, drawing, it seems like forever. But I've been fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of public art, mural art, things of that nature. SCAPE Martinez, by the way, stands for Screaming Creative and Positive Energy. For some of us who know, back in the day when you did graffiti art, your letters always had to stand for something. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the era that I come from and I still try to maintain. A lot of my artwork is actually very abstract, but not figurative. Like I rarely do figurative. I don't think I've done anything figurative until this. But this is the opportunity to do that. This was the opportunity to do something realistic and the challenge that came along with it. And I thought that if I did this the right way, it would speak to people in the right way. The way I look at it is I didn't necessarily sign on to the project signed on to me. When they came at me with the idea, I was like, okay, I was feeling it. We wanted to kind of, look at the history of East Palo Alto, but let's think bigger. I felt that there was the opportunity to do that, to have that conversation, right? To say like, let's not just do the history of East Palo Alto, let's do the history of the land, let's do the history of the people, let's dig a little bit. A lot of the color choices came from the workshops that we had done, where members of the community picked colors and color schemes that would work, that they felt reflected parts of their narrative, their story and whatnot. You definitely see a lot of earth tones, a lot of ochres and things of that nature, especially like in the first two panels. But at the same time, I don't water down the colors that I use. If it comes out the tube, I'm using it exactly the way that is. So a lot of my colors are bold. Like I'll mix things up or whatever if I need to, or if I have to. But yeah, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna jump off the wall. My artwork has to scream at you. I don't like doing nothing subtle. Sometimes I sit back and I like, it ain't big enough. This needs to be way bigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like the story of East Palo Alto needs to be 10 stories high. Let's put it that way, right? The real art was actually connecting with people and giving them space to connect with each other. Like that was the real art. This almost is secondary because the idea was finding the stories, finding the narratives, you know what I mean? And then like bringing them to life. When you're doing work that goes in the community, for me, it just has to always go back until you are done and you sign it in the corner. Then it's like, that's it. But that's why it takes a lot longer than you're doing a regular project. But it's also being true to the idea that it's community-based. I want to do just something like things that are bigger, that are more intricate, that can tell more stories than just something that's just there, right? So I like to think about it as more of an art installation, right? Something that will have legs to it, that like when I'm gone, it's still talking, And I felt that this would be an opportunity to do that. It was a journey to get here and I didn't do it by myself. And that's probably one of the biggest things to share about this project, I didn't do it alone. There was a lot of people involved. It took a lot of work. And for me, I'm just in gratitude for everybody who showed up.